Hello, hello, hi. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Goldie. Welcome on in. How's your rest? I'm thinking pretty good because I am feeling amazing today. Well rested, relaxed, barely got any work done. So, yeah, we're gonna be productive today. But how have you guys been? And while you tell me that, yesterday I was a monster. I was about to pet my cat, Julian, alright? I had already sat down, a plate of food in front of me. I was about to pet her, and that's when I remembered, oh, if I pet her, I have to wash my hands again. So I retract my hand backward to stop myself from petting her. And do you know what I see right there below me? This cat is sitting there, her eyes closed, smiling, happy. She's waiting for a pet that never came, and I felt so awful. Well, immediately after finishing my food, I did pet her, but in the moment, it'd be like that. But other than that, I think I've had a pretty good past couple of days. Have been nice, I'd say. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I pet my cat just now because just talking about it, I'm like, oh, my poor baby. We are continuing this little model. I think the mouth is finished though. Is it? No, not yet. I think once we finish the hat and the mouth, should be ready for rigging. My reference sheet will be done in 6 days. Ah, amazing. I know it's very exciting to always wait for art to be ready. Hi, Hardshank. Welcome on in. I was playing a little bit of Minecraft earlier. I think I might get back into it. Dude, same. I think I've just been looking for something to play like for the longest time. I've been in a bit of a games drought, as they call it. So I'm like, Minecraft is what's it called? Ye old reliable. For some reason, my uni is messing with the DNS. I can't load Minecraft. Hate this place. Ooh, yeah. A lot of unis they have like all sorts of weird stuff going on. Because I used to have like my own like personal cloud storage that I built out of a Raspberry Pi, and it would work like remotely, except when I was connected to my uni Wi-Fi. So I guess they do have like some sort of protections there. Their IT department's probably looking for something to do. You play something like Expedition 33 Ordi? I don't think so. I watched the gameplay. I watched the cutscenes. Beautiful story. I really enjoyed. I don't think I would play it. It's the kind of game that I would play. Hi, Cloud. Welcome on in. It's the kind of game that I would play. What you call it for the story, and I decided it was cheaper to just like watch someone else play it. So yeah, Bro Cat strikes again. And now, Jack, you said I hate this place. Hey, one day you'll graduate and never have to think about it again. True story. I speak from experience. You run the watch videos. It's about okay. I'm gonna be honest. I enjoy the knowledge and the lore and everything. So video essays are like my go-to. I used to watch like a lot of gameplay videos because while you're watching it live, you do get like the suspense, the drama, the excitement, all of that stuff. Unfortunately, it's a lot more time consuming. Besides, for stream, I think I like to play stuff where I can always just glance at like chat, you know, so he doesn't interrupt the yapping. I think I have tried playing a couple games before. I played Metro once. The thing about Metro is it's a very good I wouldn't even say it's a horror game. Well, maybe. You're in an irradiated wasteland fighting mutants. But that game has like a lot of tension and suspense. It's very cinematic. The thing about playing it on stream was either I focus on chat or I focus on the game. And I'm like, if I focus on chat, I don't enjoy the game to the fullest. If I focus on the game, then I don't know if it's entertaining. So I'm like, I'll just play it off stream. But something like Minecraft, something cozy and relaxed, yeah. I think that's like the vibe that I want to go for. Well, I was watching a documentary about like the robotics industry. Humanoid robots have come like a long way. Have you guys seen any of like the new ones? Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Hmm. I saw a few of them. I saw the ones from China and the ones from Boston Dynamics. Okay, found a picture. Yeah, this thing. I was watching videos of it doing cartwheels and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. Apparently the goal is to like, I saw that there's like debates about like whether it's actually practical. And cuz like if you're in a factory and you have a robot that does one very specific thing, that's usually the most cost effective thing you could do. But the argument for like humanoid robots is you can put them in places where humans go, you know? Basically, any job that you'd give to like a regular human, you could kind of give to them. And I saw another case which that one I was very skeptical of. But another one that I saw was in like the medical industry. Apparently, like taking care of like elderly people. They made the argument of like they would probably trust it a bit more if it looked kind of humanoid rather than just some box on wheels and all that stuff. So yeah, I saw the video of this thing. The way it moves, pretty acrobatic. Honestly, it's doing cartwheels. I don't think I can do cartwheels. So yeah, this is more advanced than that Denmark robot. I don't think I've seen the Denmark one though. Do you know what it's called? I'm just gonna type Denmark human robot. Hmm, the one without a face. I think that's like kind of all of them. So I have a big brain. Hi, Orca. What makes you say that? Is this the one? To be fair, they all kind of look the same. But this one, I guess, kind of has eyes, so I don't think so. Yeah, I'm not seeing. Hmm. Wait, I think this might be in. Is this the one? Because I'm seeing no face. Yeah. Okay. Have you guys watched? We're talking about robots. Have you guys watched that show? The Orville. Basically, Star Trek knockoff. Kind of comedic show. I really liked it. Let's see if I can find a picture. Do you know what this one reminds me of? It reminds me of this character, Ryan, from the TV show The Orville. It's basically kind of like Star Trek. This they go around space exploring things. So basically, the premise of this guy's species. Spoiler alert for anyone who's interested. Basically, it's a planet full of just robots. How do they come to be? They were basically robotic servants, but their creators were kind of abusive and treated them like trash until eventually they rose up, killed them all, and then took over the planet. I'm seeing a lot of similarities both in the design and the lore. Should we be worried? I don't think so. It's truly out of a horror game. I feel like it's just very uncanny. I don't like robots. I like robots and technology. I don't like how sometimes they use because people get too fascinated with them and they try to push them before they're ready. Kind of like self-driving cars, in my opinion. It's like Star Wars robot without a whole lot of details. Ah. I mean, it is like for a TV show, and I don't think it had the highest budget. But we'll see. Would you ever buy one? I think they like the cheaper ones. I think you can get some from China, which are they're not really automated. They're kind of like a remote control toy where you can, make it move forward, backwards, walk around, maybe do some tricks like shake hands. But other than that, it's like not intelligent. I think that one goes for like $6,000. I'm like, I think those are usually sold for like research. There's no like consumer level yet product, for lack of a better term. Apparently, one of the reasons that there's a huge explosion of humanoid robots in like the last few years is because of AI. Because before, it's kind of hard to like get it to think like a human because you have to program it. That's super hard. However, since like AI is able to very easily visually process things, it made it way, way, way easier for the robots to be like kind of independent. So yeah. Yeah, you're kind of right where it wouldn't even be like something where like after years then suddenly they get released and everything is great. I think they'll release like very shabby kind of robots. They'll kind of be useful and then over like decades they'll be refined. Would you guys get one? I don't think I'd want one. It's a lot of prototype stuff that we see maybe before it's actually used. Yeah, I think a lot of them are in the prototype stage. I wouldn't trust them because, put it this way. For a robot like that, sorry, my cat's doing parkour. Yeah, for a robot like that, whoever owns it will 100% include in, like, what's it called? The TOS that they're allowed to collect data from the robot, which probably would include a lot of the recorded video of what it sees, what it hears. They'll say it's like for debugging, and not a conspiracy, not where they're like, oh, they want to spy on you for some evil purpose. I don't think for evil purposes. I think it's just marketing data. Kind of like how your Alexa listens to you. Like the Boston Dynamics dog, that's more or less a prototype. Yeah, that one, whatever happened to it? Do they have like new versions of it, or I know they plan to use it in like a lot of search and rescue stuff or go to places where humans can't really follow. Say like a burning building or that kind of stuff. I think police bought some of them. Oh. I did see that in the video that I was watching, the humanoid robots, some of them were actually used by law enforcement as well. I'm not sure what they do because the video didn't touch onto that. They just said like, yeah, they've been used in law enforcement. I wouldn't trust one in my home. But then again, I'm the kind of person who I own an Alexa because I bought it to do like some experiments with some projects. But ever since then, it's just been sitting in my cupboard, unplugged. I think there was one person that a robot came up to saying they needed help, and I told them to go away. I think I saw that. That was like a really long time ago. It was basically one of those robots on wheels that just patrol around. It's basically a glorified security camera. Did it also start humming? Hold on. Security robot tells person to go away. Yeah, this is the one. I saw this. Hold on, hold on. Let me pull it up for you guys. Imagine getting mugged only to get a police egg tell you to piss off and then roll away singing Highway to Hell. The future is now. But yeah, this is a pretty old article. I think Google Home Alexa is one of those premium luxury items. It's basically just more ways for them to collect your data. Because those things are always listening and they have to. Otherwise, they don't work. How will they know you're saying, hey, Alexa, if it's not always listening to you? So yeah, they say they don't record the data or use it or anything, or they don't collect it. But honestly, do you really trust them? Because I don't. The ones in China that kept jumping in the water downstairs. Oh yeah, I saw those ones as well. That was hilarious. Or you just woke up and found out that I messed up. My Google Drives in my feature and bio were set to request permission, not open. Oh, whoopsie. Did you link like your drives for like, your portfolio that you couldn't I'll put on VGen because, not safe for work. Hi, Ruby. Welcome on in. I remember this one. Where's the other one? Hold on. Yeah, okay, I found it. Mm, hold on. Let me put this. This is where robots were just a few years ago. They were telling you to piss off and let you get mugged, or they were drowning themselves in fountains. Um, they have come a long way. For the animation specifically, not for the pics, since can upload non-YouTube animations. Oh yeah. I'd say that's the main reason I had my first YouTube channel, which has the showcases. Simply because VGen can't just take the video, and it does make sense. If they were hosting the videos themselves, they would pay an arm and a leg, just like for server costs. So I guess it's a lot cheaper to just embed a video. Okay. I'm trying to remember what that company was called. Okay. This is where robots were a few years ago. Terrible at their job, drowning themselves. This is not a video. I did see videos of them actually moving around, and they were like pretty cool. They're more agile than I am. 5 more years. If humanity makes it that far, I think the robots would be super cool. It does take YouTube animations. The thing is, I can't upload them to YouTube. Oh. Yeah, I think it's designed for like YouTube links, not just any link. I have seen people use GIFs because those ones count as like images in quotes, but it does reduce the quality. So, something you can consider. I will consider that. Yeah, I wanted to do it because if videos don't on VGen, right? If videos don't autoplay, someone has to like click on it, but GIFs do. And like the thing that really shines about my models and stuff is not the art. I'm still learning that, but the animation, the little jiggle physics. That's what really sells. So yeah, I think I might consider just getting a giant like a GIF, so that when people see it while scrolling through randomly, they get impressed. I realized this was off. But I wouldn't like beat yourself up over it too much. I feel like people who like would look at that would have like requested permission, unless maybe they're shy and they don't want like an email saying like so and so has requested to see your stuff. Someone just requested permission for the first time dies. Don't worry about it. If they request it, it just means they're very, very eager to see it. So yeah, that's a good thing. Don't worry about it. Ooh, I just remembered, Feather. I got access to Gaycraft now. I'm going to start building my evil empire, Say So Land. Yeah. I just need to find some villagers to kidnap and build a basement and dungeon. Gonna stream it? Maybe. I feel like I'll keep it in reserve for one of those days where I don't feel like doing art and just be like, yeah, we'll what's it called? I'll throw on some Minecraft, do some yapping, the usual. Okay, perfect. Well, I realized something. It has like 10,000 mods on it, and I don't know how a single one of them works. I am someone who only ever used like vanilla Minecraft. But I will figure it out. Can ask for a hand if you need. Well, thank you. What I need is good equipment. I'm still using stone pickaxes. Pretty weird. I suppose, but maybe I'll get used to them. To be fair, I haven't played Minecraft in years. Even like the vanilla stuff is weird to me at this point. In fact, like I played like a little bit, I think for about an hour or so, just like getting my bearings. I think like I just breathe and immediately I've unlocked like 10 achievements. Yeah, I would see like a lot of the Minecraft update stuff through like shorts and stuff. I saw when they were when they released like the gas and all of that stuff, the happy one. And the first few times I saw it, I straight up thought it was a mod. I didn't realize it was vanilla. I heard that they broke redstone, but I also saw they had that one mod. I don't know what it's called, the one where you can build like machines and moving blocks and stuff, like windmills and etc. I do have like the tiniest bit of experience using that. I can't remember what it's called. My mind is blanking. Create? I think so. So I'm like, I might be able to make some stuff out of it. You know what I want to do? Um, I found like a very large, flat, empty patch of land. What I want to do is I want to go to the center of that place and I want to build a giant spike coming out of the ground. Oops. A giant spike coming out of the ground. Right. This will be my wizard's tower. And then the ground is normally like green, right? So like green. What I want to do is just have it almost like a corruption that's just seeping out until it kind of blackens like the whole area around it. Sorry, this should be gray. And then over time, it starts spreading. So I've tried to build as far away from other people as possible. So I don't like actually bother anyone. But yeah. I want to RP like villain of the server. Not actually like mess with anyone, but just have that whole persona going. But doesn't actually do anything. Kind of like Doofenshmirtz. They have /r were planning on breaking villager trading, but I stopped paying attention to the news after hearing that. To be fair, I feel like the only useful things like I would ever trade from villagers is diamond armor. Do they even trade diamond armor? Basically, just get really good armor, disenchanted, and then put your own enchantments. And ooh, the librarians, right? Because from them, there's a chance you get the mending book. I think those are like the only real uses for villagers in my opinion. Other than that, I feel like I got everything else pretty okay. Although I do like going to villages. This is back when I used to play. I would find a village and I'd basically build a wall around it. And I'm like, I am now the lord of this land. I'm gonna protect these people. These are my subjects, and then build a castle like next to it. And yeah, I would sometimes not like the place too well so that, it would spawn monsters and I just have like my whole defense side quests. Honestly, I'm kind of psyched to get back into Minecraft. Sounds like a nice time. Yeah, it was. I used to play Minecraft when I was like kind of young. Good memories. I remember playing it on like my very old family potato laptop. How far we have come. Hmm. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this box thing. Because if I make it one layer, it'll kind of jiggle with the waves. I kind of wonder what game Notch is working on now since he announced he was getting started. He's still alive? No, wait, sorry, I'm thinking of someone else. Was Notch is the guy who made Minecraft? Was that like the only thing he did? Mm. Oh, he founded Mojang. I think it's probably his biggest thing. I've clicked on his Wikipedia page. I'm seeing activities after leaving Mojang. Since leaving Mojang, he's worked on several small projects. Okay, he founded a company. The company had no games. Spent 60 million something. Apparently, he was doing VR stuff. Okay, I'm seeing here at the beginning of 2025, he decided to create the spiritual successor of Minecraft, referred to as Minecraft 2, in response to a poll on Twitter. Hmm. He shortly went against this in favor of developing the other choice on the poll, a roguelike named Levers and Chests. Hmm. He made it, I think started Scrolls, like one other thing. Actually, I don't know what he's done. Okay, I'm seeing here games. He made Minecraft, something called Caller's Bane, Cliff Horse, 0x10C, and something called Shambles. I have never heard of any of these. Literally, yeah, I just clicked on Shambles. It just says in 2013 made a free game called Shambles in Unity Game Engine. Nothing about the game. Honestly, if I was him, I would have made Minecraft, cashed out, retired. I don't understand people who make it and then like continue to like do stuff. Like, put it this way, if I won the lottery, I he did exactly that. He seems to be back, so he didn't do it permanently. Maybe he got bored. He thrives on attention, gained a massive ego over it. It happens. I think he did retire, just something he enjoys. Yeah, I feel like I can actually understand that. If I won the lottery, I'd probably still be doing art. I'd probably take a lot less commissions. So I'd only work on like how do you say this? I'd only work on maybe like projects that kind of like fascinate me, like very experimental stuff. Cause I think that's like the most fun, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think much would change, to be honest. It's just that I won't have to think about money and I'll just continue living my life same as usual. In fact, I think I'm a very boring person when it comes to questions like that because people are like, "Oh, what would you do if you won the lottery?" Some people be like, "Oh, I'd buy I don't know, a Ferrari, I'd do this, I'd buy like several houses." I don't know. I don't know what people do with money. I don't think my life would change very much, but at the same time, I've never won the lottery, so I don't know if that's even correct. Excuse me. So yeah, I think I just really enjoy, going live, doing art, working on little projects, playing games, a very chill and relaxed life. I'm not a very materialistic person. So yeah, something to think about. What did you guys do if you won the lottery? Just like you could do anything, and money is no object. Although it has to be reasonable, nothing like, oh, I'm gonna buy the moon. Which is the same thing, I guess. Stash it invested, so never have to sweat income again. Makes sense. Just relax all the time. Yeah. I think then you'd be able to like just focus fully on like hobbies and passion projects. There's a curse of winning the lottery as many go bankrupt, at least in the US. Yeah, I heard about that. The problem is a lot of the time the people who would win the lottery are people who don't know how to handle money. Right? And I say that in the sense that how do you say this? Before, right? They're living, normal life. They're budgeting, they're doing this, they're making sure they have enough, putting stuff away in like savings, etc. But when they win like the lottery, I think it's just like the amount that they have all at once is like, oh, this is so much, I'll never finish it. So they start spending it on literally everything. I don't know, sprinkling golden flakes into caviar for everyone wherever they go. Mm, eventually, it does run out. I feel like By the way, this is purely hypothetical because again, I've never won the lottery. I don't think much would change because if you ask me like, oh, what would you buy? I don't think I'd buy anything. I'm just like, I'm kind of content with how I live my life. So yeah, maybe I'd buy a nice chair. But other than that, nothing off the top of my head. Because I think my parents do okay. Mm, my brothers too. So it's not like I have any family to take care of. Yeah. Maybe I'd spoil them a bit more. Jim says, I will buy a tank. You know, the thing about, let me not finish that thought. I don't want to dox myself. Did I hear doxing? Yeah. I'm usually fascinated with. I like telling stories and just yapping about things. Sometimes I might accidentally yap about things that contain identifying information. Like for example, I've been streaming for quite a number of months. I have never spoken about like my previous job, like what exactly I did. I've been a bit vague about it. Like, I worked in tech. I was in like the sales position. I mostly just yap to people as well. The reason why I don't share is this: I worked in like a very, very, very niche industry in the country. And I'm talking like there are four companies max that do that. Now, I've also talked about how the company I worked at was kind of small, right? I think like 10 ish people, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. I didn't count, right? So if I start talking about it and be like, oh, I work doing this is this, people Google, oh, companies in Malaysia that do this. Okay, here are four. Oh, he said that it was a bit of a small company. This one has 1,000 employees, 300, that kind of stuff. One of them has less than 50. Oh, it must be this one. They click on it, they start scrolling through, and then they start looking at the company's social media. What do they see? They see company pictures, the promotional stuff. They see us at events. Oh, already talked about like all of the events that they would go to. And then you guys start scrolling through the pictures of people standing at the booth. And yeah, next thing you know, there I am. So you gotta be, if you want to be like super anonymous, you really gotta be careful about the information you give. That's just like one example. Ooh, I saw like this other story where some streamer, right? They were talking about getting like a new apartment and moving. And I think they shared like a picture on their Discord, right? They took like a picture of like the room and was like, hey guys, do you think this is big enough for like an office? And they put a picture of that. Someone in the chat is like, oh, I know that building. I'm actually looking at it too, right? That was not a picture that was on any of the listing. Apparently, they recognized like the carpet and stuff like that, and that they knew like kind of which city they were kind of looking in, a little bit about the price range because they're like, oh, I'm not gonna get anything fancy, right? Imagine if that person just didn't say anything. That person moved in, and next thing you know, you're neighbors with your Oshi. So, or it just goes, my local dealership has a tank at 45% off. Yeah, and then people start googling tank dealerships. They start clicking on a few of them, right? And they find one which happens to have 45% off, and there you go. I've left too many trails to really cover anything up at this point. To be fair, I'm just a bit paranoid because I had like a lot of awkward and very weird encounters with people. Um So I just err on the side of caution. Only if they forgot to strip the exif from the picture. Exif. Is that like the metadata? Yeah, GPS metadata. Uh, I don't know. I don't think they did. Honestly, do you know what I do whenever I like share pictures and stuff? Like for example, in the Discord I have the pets channel. Whenever I want to share pictures of my cats, usually it's a picture that I've sent to a friend through like WhatsApp, which has been taken through my phone's camera. What I do is on my PC, I paste that image. I paste that image like here, right? I paste it in Paint Tool Sai, and then I take this thing and I crop it from the art app. So I've basically taken a copy of this and not the actual image from the phone, and then I paste it in Discord. And yeah, I don't think that was the case. I think someone just happened to, what's it called? People can find things if they're very interested in doing so. Even if like the metadata is gone, you've seen people play GeoGuessr. It is insane. There was actually a case where I think it was some idol in, I can't remember what country. It was either Japan or Korea. So I think they posted like a selfie, and someone managed to find their location, not by anything like the metadata or landmarks or whatever. Because I think it was just a picture of like their face. There's no surroundings and stuff. What they did was they looked at like the reflection in her eye, and from there they kind of saw where she was, and ew, yeah, people can be creepy. Um, I think the chances of encountering them are very low, but it's kind of like Russian roulette, but with a very large, what is it called? Not barrel. The thing with the bullets, you know, it's usually like larger creators that suffer that thing, but that's only because there's like more eyes on them. So it's just like statistically, the chances of maybe some like weirdo popping in is just higher. But at the end of the day, it could happen to anyone. I think that's one of the things I miss about Malaysia. Like, I lived in buildings where, there's like a reception, the elevators could only work if you have a key card, there's like security, that kind of stuff. The thing about like the UK is all the houses, the doors, sure, they seem sturdy, made of wood. But like the backyards, the doors basically just have glass. Anyone with a brick can gain access to the house like instantly. So I'm like, You almost have to assume that 1% of following is hyperparasocial type, so larger chat means more people in that 1%. Exactly. I feel like it's not even like percentage, it's just like chance that one of them are. Like if someone pops in, dice is rolled, oh, they're a normal human being. If that makes sense. So you could have like 5 people in chat and one of them could be a serial killer. You never know. Based off the normalization bell curve. Ah. But yeah, it's always good to be cautious. I do I will confess, I do err on the side of caution, sometimes a bit much. And I do try to catch myself whenever I do it. Like for example, we're talking about, this is like a while back. We were talking about like sun damage and how long it takes to occur based on like the UV index and stuff. So while I was trying to explain to people that it's very important to like, wear sunblock because this, while looking at the graph and the data, I realized I'm like, oh, I'm actually like in the very safe area, but I treat it as though, like I'm back in my home country where the scorching sun will, I don't know, fry an egg in like 2 minutes. So I'm like, I've been a bit paranoid here because I'm not used to the UK sun. It's very weak compared to what I'm used to. Because again, I'm a tropical cat. The sun exposure in my country is very similar to Australia. Like the UV index is like 10, 11 year round, right? So I'm basically used to hiding from the sun like a vampire. So when I come here in the UK and I start doing the exact same thing, I'm like, this is a little bit of overkill. But you live and you learn. But I'm going to be honest, all my weird encounters with people so far have only been strangers, never anything online. So, thumbs up, I guess. Maybe I look too approachable. I'm told I have a resting bitch face, but apparently that doesn't drive people away. You know what I need? I need to start bulking up, need to start going to the gym, maybe shave my head, maybe get a face tattoo, and then no one in the street will approach me, and then I can walk in peace. Thoughts? I'm thinking like Dwayne the Rock Johnson build, maybe Mike Tyson face tattoo, you know? It's quite a lot of work. Yeah, I'd probably give up by like day two. That might attract unwanted people. I already attract unwanted people. Just the other day, right? I was walking home and some random stranger, right, just stops and he asks me if I'm a bottom. And I was like, sorry, not interested, and kept walking away as fast as I could. And yeah, it would have been a funny tee hee ha ha moment, but that person just kept following me, and that was like super creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. Yeah. Fortunately, I was like, I live like next to a park. So he continued to follow me until like I was almost home. But instead of like turning into my house, I don't want some random weirdo knowing where I live. I just kept walking straight towards like the park. And I think as soon as he saw like a lot of people, he just like took off. And then I waited like a few minutes, checked the coast was clear, and then I doubled back and went home. But yeah, may attract some unwanted people, but I feel like it'll repel more. Also, I say this in a joking manner. I don't think I'll actually do it. I feel like if I get any tattoo, my parents would kill me. And if they don't, I'd probably never hear the end of it. So yeah, I don't think so. One thing that is a little bit of culture shock, right? Is okay, like I'm used to like my home country and Malaysia, because that's basically where I spend most of my life. The culture is like a lot more modest. So when I came here, I think the one thing that I realized is basically everyone has a tattoo, and I was like, oh, this feels a bit strange. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just it's a little bit taboo from most of the places where like I lived. So I'm like, to see just like literally everywhere was a bit unique. Speaking of The Rock, have you seen his recent pictures? I don't think I have. Hold on, let me Google him. The Rock. Recent. Hmm. He's looking kind of older. I remember him being like way younger. Huh? Oh, we're getting raided. Hi, table. Welcome on in. Hold on. I'm looking at pictures of The Rock. What am I looking for? He has lost muscle mass? Yeah. Hold on. This one feels almost like a wax statue. I don't know if it's real. But hi, table. What have you guys been up to? Playing Minecraft. Ah. How's your stream? Tell us all about it. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I forgot. I need to be professional streamer. Welcome on in, Raiders. I am Ordikai. I am Purple Cat. I am Wizard. I do magic. I have dice that you can roll. Um, I do a lot of yapping instead of actually working. But yeah, I do mascots like the ones you see down here, and I'm currently working on one. So yeah, welcome on in. Sit back, relax. We're googling pictures of the Rock. I feel like this one is. Hold on, this is another one. Oh, you guys rated in just in time for the ads. Whoopsie. Okay. He still looks kind of buff, but you can notice like it's shrinking and the skin kind of hangs a little. I mean, it's very normal, like with age and all. It's just how old is The Rock? You know what? Let's Google this. Welcome to my stream, everyone. We are lol having the weirdest ad. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh wait, sorry, my propaganda's in the way. Yeah, we hate ads here. Usually, if we have like an important conversation, I kind of like pause it. Let's see. Rock age. He is 53. I think he has some health issues. Yeah, he's 53. This is before. There are some changes. You know, pretty normal. Still looks pretty good for someone who's 50. Hmm. I feel like I know a guy who looks like almost exactly like this. Has a little bit more hair though. Just a shock when you expect him to be bulky. Yeah, I don't think I've seen any pictures of him like recently. And I think I saw him back in like WWE those days. So yeah, I remember him being basically like this giant mountain. When was the last time he did a movie? Or does he like no longer do that anymore? Well, the ads are still going. The last ones I remember seeing were promos of Jumanji. Ah. Hey, ads are done. Welcome back, everyone. And yeah, sorry, Raiders, who just popped in just in time to get hit with ads. So yeah, sorry about that. Well, welcome on in. But Jumanji was like uh, came out pretty a while ago. When was that? Pre-COVID? Jumanji 2019. That was like 7 years ago. Yeah, he's still pretty buff in this one. Oh crap. I cut out the little box hat thingy so that I could paste it, but I got distracted and I copied Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Hold on. I have the reference here. Whoopsie. Okay, out of ads, I was on a quest to build my house. I wanted dark wood for my floor. Went on side quest for almost like an hour. Ah, understandable. I love base building. My favorite thing to do, secret lair, which underneath it is another secret lair, which is actually like what's the word? Which is actually another bait because under that is even another more secret lair. Anyway, I just have like a lot of fun doing that. Secret base. Yeah, it's a secret base underneath a secret base underneath a secret base. That's usually how I have fun. I may have a problem. Honestly, I just love messing around with redstone. The one downside with mods with like a map on it, like a mini map, is as soon as someone goes underground, they start to see it. So kind of defeats the purpose, but I just have a lot of fun building it anyway. Yeah, some other work. I just don't watch movie ends as much. To be fair, I think the only time I notice like a movie is out is I'd randomly see like a clip about it. Like for example, the Naked Gun series. I was a huge fan of the original franchise. I did not know they had a new movie coming out until like a week before it was released, something like that. I was literally showing it to people on stream, like the OG movies. And when I Googled it, right, I saw like a poster with Liam Neeson on it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is in the movie. I thought it was a fan poster. I didn't notice like the actual real thing. And I was like, oh, they make a remake. They made a remake of it. Thanks for the follow. I love the Naked Gun. I want to rewatch it again. Honestly, it's a beautiful movie. Like it's if you love the original and you love like spoof movies like that, like it's perfect. You will love it if you've not seen it already. If you've watched Johnny English, you know, the Mr. Bean actor who plays like a spy in the movies, if you love the Johnny English movies, that kind of dumb vibe, you will definitely love The Naked Gun, the new one. Because I was worried about like what they do to the movie because they cannot make it like the original. The original is like an 80s movie. It's like very old, the style is different. So I don't think they could remake it like that. But if they changed it to something completely different, I don't know if people would like it. So I was ready to assume that they were going to make some horrible artistic interpretation of it. But I'm going to be honest. I walked into the theater ready to be a hater, right? I was ready to tweet about it. I don't even use Twitter. As soon as I left that theater, I'm like, I horribly misjudged them. Yeah, that was beautiful. In fact, they actually called it out like in the movie where basically he has like the same name as the Ochi character, but he's Frank Drebin Jr. He's like the son of like the original detective. So there's actually a scene where he's like looking at a poster of like his dad on the wall at the precinct. He's like, "Hey dad, I want to be dressed like you, but at the exact same time be completely different." And they made it as a little gag, but to be fair, that's exactly what they did with the movie. It had a lot of the OG broken humor, but at the same time, it felt like a modern movie. The closest thing that I could, you know, yeah, the closest thing basically was the Johnny English movies. That's basically the vibe. It's like Johnny English and the original Naked Gun series had a child. That was the movie, and it was beautiful. I'm not sponsored, but they should. I keep shelling them out. You know, I just love the franchise. It has a very close place in my heart. So if you ever wondered why my humor is like very broken, you guys now know. Okay, I need to extend this. Yeah, I think this is fine. Honestly, it will look nicer if it's between the waves, but in order to do that is like way more complex. So I'm like, let's make a very slight change that is virtually unnoticeable. Looks like it goes on sale November 14th, so I'll have to pick it up. Yeah, honestly, amazing movie. At least if you like that kind of dumb comedic humor, beautiful movie. 10 out of 10, recommend. Like while I'm here in the UK, I don't think I would ever go to like a movie theater. Uh Basically cuz it's just pricey. I'm still adjusting to UK prices. Like in my heart, I'm used to spending like $1 at the movie theater, and here they're asking me to spend like 15. So I'm like, ugh. Give it enough time, I'll adjust to the currency. But in the meantime, I'm like, I don't think I want to spend that much on a movie. I grew up on Mel Brooks films. I love Spaceballs. What else did he make? Let's see if I could recognize his other movies. Okay. Ooh, I love Dead and Loving It, the Dracula one. Robin Hood, Men in Tights, love that too. I haven't seen Life Stinks. I love Spaceballs. Ooh, I'm waiting for the sequel. Blazing Saddles. Ooh, I love that movie. It's dumb as hell. I think I've shown a scene of it. Young Frankenstein sounds familiar, but I don't think I watched it. I haven't seen History of the World. Hmm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of his films. When is Spaceballs 2 coming out? Okay, 2027. Huh. Wait, is Mel Brooks working on it? Wait, is he still alive? First question, is Mel Brooks still alive? Hmm. Okay, he seems to be. I'm not seeing anything about his. Yeah, I'm not seeing death here. So I think he's alive. I like how he takes something controversial is able to turn it into comedy that people laugh at. Yeah, see, that's like a great way to do comedy. I think like how do you say this? Cancel culture exists and does a lot of good, but at the same time, it can also do some bad. I think one of its pitfalls is people are kind of a bit afraid to be a little bit edgy, especially like if they're a giant film company. But without saying any spoilers, the new Naked Gun movie, they're not afraid of that. They made some spicy jokes in there. And I was sitting in the theater watching it, I'm like, oh, Twitter's gonna have a field day. Nothing too crazy, but I was taken by surprise because I was like, this is a movie made in 2025. I thought it'd be like overly sanitized. Yeah, they did not care. Not as crazy as like the OG. It'd be Blue Sky these days. I don't think anyone's ever leaving Twitter. I'm gonna be honest. It can be as bad as, yeah, it could just be completely awful. People are still gonna use it. A Blue Sky is it seems to be up and coming, but I don't think it's there yet in terms of like a mainstream appeal. Yeah. Hi Maxine, welcome on in. Seems stagnant in growth. Yeah, I feel like it had a lot of initial hype. It grew rapidly, and the people who want to use it are using it, but hasn't drawn in anyone else. I feel like Twitter has to really, really, really kick the bucket, and then everyone will move over. I've got to brush my teeth. BRB will be here. I think I have a Blue Sky. I can't remember. I need to learn to be more active on social media. I think that's one of my resolutions for like the rest of the year. I'm the kind of person who I don't make my resolutions like at the beginning of the year and be like, this is my plan for this. I don't do that. I'm just like, I should do this. This is my resolution now. So, yeah, I've decided I want to be a bit more active on socials. I want to maybe market my art a little bit more. Like one plan that I have, as you know, Twitch has a September. So, what happens in September, right? Okay, this is artist business talk, right? So, what is September? September is basically Twitch subs and gifted subs are all cheaper. So people have like their events, their subathons, etc., right? And that's usually when a lot of creators come into a good chunk of money. Now, I make mascots who are my main clientele, right? So, what do I do to celebrate the end of September? Because we're kind of getting there. I considered doing it like at the actual end of September to like, launch my plan. But I'm like, if I wait too long, people will make like plans anyway. So I'm like, let me just do that a little bit early. So I put 30% off my mascots. I reduced the price from $150 to just 100. And on VGen, right? This is the most important thing. On VGen, if hold on, let me take a picture of this. You're able to follow artists, right? And what that does is when you're changing like your commission status, right? If you have like a new commission, you can like notify people if you open it or close it, etc. It pings them. So my commissions are open, but I never notify followers to anything. I never want to spam anyone, right? So people follow me, but like they don't get any pings from me about like my commissions or anything like that. And I want to keep it that way. The most annoying thing that I've noticed on VGen is you follow like one artist, they upload like 10 different commission types, and then you get like a buttload of like notifications. So I always turn this off. I never notify them about anything. So now I have amassed like a good number of people who have followed me but not yet commissioned. So if they're streamers, if they're creators, they would have been, raking in that September money. Now, what I did was I temporarily turned this on. I turned on notify followers on status change, and then I went from status, I went to close, and then I went to open. So everyone should have gotten a ping that says, hey, Ordikai has his mascot commissions open. Just like a little ping that, hey, I'm here, I still exist. So people who followed me like ages ago and forgot that I existed are reminded and like, maybe I should get a mascot. Here's to hoping that works. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, a little bit of marketing. I want to be a bit more proactive when it comes to stuff. My bag teeth's clean. That's good to hear. I was just talking about how I am going to channel capitalism and try to get money from people. I was listening, yeah. Ah, perfect. I feel like one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to monetize things a little bit. How are you amazing, Ordy? I don't think I'm that amazing. I try. I try to be alright. Ooh, you see this thing? Wait, hold on. I was lazy, so I just replaced the image. I tried monetizing my stream a little bit more, so I'm like, I don't want people to just like give bits for like nothing in exchange. So I'm like, what if we play a little fun game? Hold on. I introduced a gotcha mechanic. If I can find the image. Okay, here it is. I introduced a gotcha mechanic, right? So I'm like, if people want to just like support the thing and basically pull for a free mascot, we have like this thing here. I don't ever expect like anyone to regularly use it or anything like that, but I'm like, the percentage of winning is 5%, right? Say someone rolls it like 20 times and wins once. That's basically like the cost of a mascot anyway. So I'm like, I like those odds. So I'm like, what if we have this thing? If you've ever seen like the dice rolling, hold on. I have one which is a channel point redeem. Yeah, this one. Roll dice. So this one is just rolling it for fun. But I'm like, what if we actually had a mechanic where it does more than just roll and give you a number for no reason? So I'm like, what if we had like a little gotcha thing? People like Genshin. The horse girl game did well, so I'm like, I put it up here, and yeah. I will be actually a little bit surprised if it's ever used, but we shall see. Okay, let me put the 30% off one. Because yeah, I want to get like a little bit more commissions. I've been clearing a lot of them out of the way, and yeah, I have some room to breathe, which is nice. So I'm gonna start pushing to accept a bit more. I also want to start working on like full body models again. Working on James's model that gave me like the itch to work on like the complex ones again. So yeah, I've been working on a model for Owl, and I'm really noticing the difference between like full body and like the mascot models, because like just one tiny piece of like the mascot model is already more complex. Sorry, one tiny piece of a full body model is like way more complex than an entire mascot. I wanna finish like maybe a few full bodies, put them on like the profile on VGen, and maybe then I'll start like, you know, putting it out into the world, trying to lure in some commissions. Ooh, I was also talking about a Gaycraft earlier. I want to start building a kingdom, and I want to play the role of like the server villain. I'm going to build Seiso Land, where being lewd and horny is outlawed, punishable by death. You used to get thrown in a dungeon and chained, but apparently I made the joke that seeing as the community who, you know, Feathers community, Sables community, they'll probably hear that and be like, oh, yes, please. And, start lining up at the door. Overpopulation of the dungeon. It's easy to just like decapitate them. Just a little silly RP, not actually like doing anything like that. Serve a villain, make a village called Straightfield, something like that. But I want to call it Say So Land, and I want it to slowly like just expand outward over time. So it's kind of like a disease that's like spreading across the server. So if I've just been trying to get my bearings, I found like a very large empty space. I wanted to build super far from everyone, away from like everyone's building because I don't want to like bother people because I plan to make like a basically Mount Doom, right, in the server. If you guys have ever seen Lord of the Rings, it's just like that very dark, shadowy place. I was already experimenting in creative mode offline on like making giant spires of stone. So it looks like very sinister, very evil. So I'm like, now I just need to do this in survival. My biggest trouble is getting string because I need a lot of scaffolding. I want to build like really high up. Sounds fun. Looking forward to it. Thank you. I mean to be evil in the sense, not like griefing anything, just like a very Doofenshmirtz esque kind of evil. They're just there, they yap a lot, but they don't actually do anything bad. Because, at the end of the day, it's a server, it's supposed to be fun. Pranks are only fun if no one is, actually bothered. So yeah, that's like it'll basically be like a tourist attraction. Because I do know, like, on servers, sometimes people do get, like, carried away with stuff. So, yeah. Don't worry. Follow all the rules, all of that stuff. I just need to figure out all of the mods. Because I've just been, like, a vanilla player for, like, the longest time. Just didn't do a feather and trigger Sable's Thalassophobia. Yeah, I'll try my best. I saw the clip of that happening. It was hilarious. Hilarious in the sense that Feather realizing he messed up again. Okay, there's like 200 mods. The admins went wild. Honestly, I don't really mind if there's like a lot of mods. I've just not played Minecraft in so long that I don't even know what is like vanilla and what is a mod. So, because there's like a ton of new stuff. I don't even remember like the last update that I played on. Honey blocks weren't too new, but it was a little bit after that. That's like the last time I played. Oh, there is like one exception where I joined another server with like other VTubers, but I didn't like playing on that server simply because I think the people running it were addicted to modding in the sense that literally like twice a day they'll update the mod pack, and that mod pack you have to download it through like a Modrinth or whatever. So basically, every time I wanted to play, I'd have to like uninstall the mod pack, reinstall the new one, and then all of that stuff. Because, if you play with an outdated mod pack, basically you just be running at like 2 frames a second. I didn't realize what was happening for the longest time. Then I realized, oh, they're just like messing with the mods, and it put me off the thing. So I was like, I don't want to deal with this. I think it was a Cobblemon server. This was like half a year ago. Honey and Bees were 1.15. We're now on 1.21. Oh, okay. I don't think it's too far. But then again, Mojang does have like major updates all the time. So I don't even know like what is new, what is not. But honestly, I think it'll just be super fun to kind of just figure things out. The good thing is like you can point at like if you're looking at a creature, right? It actually tells you like, oh, this is from like Minecraft, this is from that mod. So I really like that ability. They added Weeping Angels into it. Oh yeah, I saw about that. I don't remember what they're called, but they're the ones in like that weird haunted forest. Can I add those in my base? Creaking, yeah. Apparently you can't kill those creatures. You have to like find the tree that hosts them and destroy it. Can you make one like in your base? I would want like a whole bunch of them roaming around my evil lair. That would be so cool. I don't think it's on the version in Greg. Ah, okay. Is it? I thought I saw something like it, but now that I think back, I think it was a windswept Enderman. So yeah, I was thinking something else. Oh crap. Whoops. Made a mistake here. I accidentally erased this. You can take their hard block and use it around your base. A friend uses them. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I would love to just have like a wasteland outside my main base and just have them roaming around. That would be awesome. What version is the server? If you know off the top of your head. 1.2. Oh, okay. So when okay, hold on. Let me Google the creaking ones. Creaking. What version are they? Hold on, hold on. Is it in trivia? Should be. No, it is 1.21. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, the server wouldn't have them. That's a shame. I would have loved them. Yeah, I just scrolled down and I started seeing like version names. Hmm. These things look super creepy. I love them. I don't like horror games slash movies too much, but I love like horror in. I love horror like in terms of like lore, mythology, maybe fantasy books, that kind of stuff. You can request if the admins can add a mod that adds creakings. How hard is it to update the server's version? Deletes the reply aspect if it's automatic. Oh yeah. Sorry. If you like try swearing and stuff, right? My Autobot does like stop you, but I basically allow like 90% of everything that comes through. The remaining 10% are bots. I don't have it very sensitive. Otherwise, like I think it can detect like if one letter is off. It'd be like, hey, someone is trying to bypass the filter. But no, I kept it very relaxed. Like the number one reason I have it is just for the bots. I ban things like like words like .net and this and stuff like that. All of like the common words. But it does have like its own stuff, so it kind of hard. The SF the mod pack updated in Google Drive. Yeah, understandable. I was just curious, but if it's a hassle, like, hey, by no means, don't worry about it. It's a feature that I've never used and will probably live without. But hey, if there ever is like a lot of mod requests and they update the version, I have something to add. I don't have the most experience with like mods and stuff, so I have no strong opinions on which should be added, which should be removed, that kind of stuff. I gotta just show up and play with whatever's there. That's the amazing thing with mods, like something in new version just added with the mods. Oh, so like if it's easy to add like the creaking into it, that sounds like fun. But if it's even like a hassle or inconvenience, then like it's okay. I don't mind. In fact, I don't think I could even use them yet. I'm still building my base. I basically live in a hole in the ground. So yeah. I tried building scaffolding, so I made this massive sugarcane farm. Turns out I needed bamboo, not sugarcane, so I was like, oh, this was all for nothing. Tons of people make mods for new content in old versions. Oh, yeah, that actually does make sense. If a lot of people have like modded servers but don't want to update it, I completely understand. This hat took a lot longer than I thought. Okay, Not even just not updating servers. Some people just don't update their mods for new versions, so sometimes you don't have the choice. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. My favorite mods are stuck in 1.12, some even stuck in 1.7. Ah, my condolences. I feel like vanilla was like okay, but I do understand like if someone plays like a ton of Minecraft, then vanilla gets stale eventually. I just don't think I've played enough Minecraft to get bored of vanilla just yet. I miss Tinker's Construct. It's not even that vanilla bores me, mods just excite me. Understandable. It adds like a new flavor to the game. So I get it. I think one thing that I could really enjoy is I think the create mod. Because I really like building stuff with redstone. So I'm like, this is basically that, just like on steroids. So could be fun. Like you're telling me I can fly around as Iron Man fighting Godzilla with the trumpet. Sign me up. That does sound fun. I saw some people playing on it like a while back, and I'm coming to the realization I need an elytra. Walking sucks. I love the heck out of my Create mod, one of my favorite mods. Understandable. I think the real challenge with Redstone is it's not easy, or it's not like the most. I would even say it's like hard. I'd just say it's not the most elegant solution. Like, for example, with the Create mod, you can have a machine that does like a ton of stuff and it'll only take like one block space. Whereas if you wanted to make something out of redstone that did the exact same thing, it'll probably be the size of the house. So, I think there's some fun in the challenge of you can only make giant clunky machines. But that's just my opinion. I love redstone. Yeah, each have their merits. Yeah. I'll still use redstone though. I need to find some. I've only just started mining. Honestly, I kind of feel like playing now. Like Redstone doesn't allow me to make a train to deliver hundreds of thousands of blocks over great distances, but Create won't let me rain TNT on my friend's base. True, true. I have seen like the train thing. I think in like other servers, and I think it's pretty cool. But I imagine it's also kind of expensive to like build resource wise. But hey, that's half the fun. A bit of an idiot. I was trying to rotate this to mirror this. They're the exact same. Look, we all have our moments. Yeah, the trains are amazing. The best update they did for the Create mod. Oh, okay. Mostly just the rails are expensive and time consuming to lay on the rails. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true IRL as well. I think like the biggest issue, like especially like back in the day when trains were new, was they were a huge investment to build. But once they were built, like super easy to use. What is this thing called again? The Life Donut. We'll just call it Life Donut. There we go. There we are. It's okay. From now on, we are calling it the Life Donut. I think the model is mostly done for rigging. No, wait, they wanted a toggle of them eating the hat. How would I do that? Okay, I have an idea. Might have to change this. Okay. If we change this, we can reuse the hat and the arms. Hmm. Hold on, concentrating. Hmm. This could work. When I get the money, I want to make a Minecraft server, and the mods will be heavily create focused. I want to see cross country trains, but I know that kind of thing isn't a lot of people's things. Yeah, I think you need the people who are like very fixated on building, especially building machinery. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I think one of my favorite things that I built like a very long time ago was on like a public server. Hold on. Was like on a public server where I don't think there was any like player protection, so literally anyone could just show up and gank you. I basically had a little pod, right? You just go in, you step in it, and it seals a door, opens the floor beneath you, and you just like fall. So it's basically like someone is attacking me in full diamond armor. I'm not gonna be able to beat them, so I just like run into that pod. And as soon as I enter in, that pod shuts, it shoots me down, and eventually the door opens again, and they're like, oh, I can just follow this guy. Now, the first person who uses the pod will enter like the base safely, but the second person who uses it will land, and it counts the second trigger, and it immediately activates lava and water and seals them in obsidian in a little box where I can just like stab them from a safe distance. No problem. So yeah, I built like a panic room, and basically that place had like I can't remember how many walls thick of obsidian. And sure, you can't like seal them in forever. They probably have a diamond pickaxe, but that thing takes like a bit of time to get through. And in that time, I can stab them through the little hole because they can't dig and fight me at the same time. And yeah, that's how I would beat people who were stronger than me. Or alternatively, I could just like push a button and it floods the place with lava. And even if they're like super, super OP, I can do that to slow them down and then I can just run away. Hi, Kaji. Welcome on in. I'm trying to remember what we were doing. Okay, I'll need some circles. I'll just make this here. And I can use that in live 2D later. What's going on? We're talking about Minecraft. But I was also trying to focus on the model because I'm like, I just remembered this person wanted a toggle where this thing is eating the hat. So I'm like, I figured out a toggle for putting, the hands in the front holding the hand, with all the clipping and everything like that. So we'll use this circle this will help us in the future. No need for me to explain. And what else? Ooh, I need something that looks like a bite. I think you can also use circles. Okay, I need to make it bite shaped. Well, what does a bite look like? Like that? That looks bite shaped. Mm, okay, resize this. And it'll basically be like a bite out of the hand, like that. Perfect. We're almost done with rigging this. Sorry, drawing this. Then comes the fun part of rigging it. But I think I'll do that next time. Another thing is I want to host a 100-player Subnautica server. I don't see how fast 100 people can beat the game. Though I know only like 7 people that would be down. Understandable. I think I've played Subnautica like for a maximum of 30 minutes before I realized my computer couldn't handle it. I feel quite tired. Gonna head to bed. Well, thanks for stopping by. And I hope you have a good night's rest. And bye bye. Enjoy being productive? Yeah, we've been surprisingly productive today. And thank you. And bye bye. No, wait, I realized, wait, someone's a sandwich. There you go. Hmm. But now I'm tiny like everyone else. Did that work? Okay, that worked. No, the sandwich was funny. You can actually change it if you go to like, if you scroll down to my about section, you'll see the little window for like streaming avatars. You can either be a cultist, a sandwich, or a brick. A long story. But yeah, you can actually like click on the one you want. If I see it roaming around, I assume it was like accidental. So then I just manually change it. But if you want to do it, if you like have a preference, yeah, you can just go down there and like select the one. I have the sandwich one because like someone came in and they're like, make me a sandwich. I'm like, done. I uploaded the little PNG of a sandwich and transformed them. I actually wanted to make it like a little redeem that says the redeem has no context, just says make me a sandwich. You click on it and it just transforms your little avatar. Should I add some shading? Because I tried to make it like exactly as a reference, but I don't know. Okay, let's see how we feel. Okay, shading makes it look 3D, so I think we're gonna stick with that one. Okay, almost done with the model, at least the art. Yeah, that gives it a lot more depth, you know? And I've been learning about reflected light when it comes to rendering. But I don't know if it's applicable here though. Because let me show you. On Al's model that I'm working on, when it comes to like the shading, there's like the base tone. There's like the base tone, and then there's the shading. And then underneath, down here, very subtly, is reflected light. So it's basically like light as well. So it's basically light, dark, and slightly less dark. So yeah, it's a little new technique that I'm working that I see like a lot of artists use. I'm like, this would make rendering pretty good. I tried continuing this a little bit. I worked with the corset a bit, finish shading the skin. But yeah, I'm liking the progress so far. Like my record for beating Subnautica by myself, hardcore is just under 12 hours. So I really want to see 100 people do it. In fact, I think it'll take even more time. Because sure, if everyone knew what they were doing and were super coordinated going in, it might take even less than 12 hours. But if it's just a group of people just thrown in chaotically, it may take longer. That's what I imagine. I returned from ad hell. Welcome back. I really wish like I could turn them off. Unfortunately, not an option. I don't even want to say like, oh, it supports like the streamer and all that, because I don't actually make that much from it. I think I make like I can't remember if it was 3 cents or 30 cents per stream. Negligible, but you really need the 30 cents. It is tough being an artist. I do. But yeah, I feel like the drop in experience versus anything I actually gain from it, it's not worth it. I just like get rid of it, because at the end of the day, like I think I've said this before, like on stream, I don't monetize the stream because all my income comes from like art. It doesn't come from like subs or bits or whatever. It is appreciated, but unnecessary. You know, I'll still stream whether I get subs or not because I don't need them. Oh, speaking of like streaming and stuff, I did see on YouTube recently there are a lot of people complaining about like a drop in viewership, and apparently the reason is ad block, right? Because before ad block would get around like the ads and stuff, but still count as a view. But apparently their new system for getting around like the ads, essentially what it does is it just doesn't count as a view. So before in the past, the way ad block worked was you'd count as a view, but no ads played. So people just didn't get the ad revenue, but they would get the view, right? Unfortunately, like what happened would be, sorry, what happened was when they have like new updates for like, you know, preventing ad blocking, the people retaliated by having like a new system where you like the person sees the video, but it doesn't count as a view. So before people would just lose ad revenue, but now they've also lost the actual view itself, which is kind of disappointing. I'm not a YouTuber, but rising tide in all ships and all that. Yeah, it'd be funny to see 100 people muck a giant leviathan. Wait, you can kill those? I thought you were supposed to just run away from them. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was I like listening about like how things work like that. So I was like, oh, fascinating. Makes a note of this. Hmm. Okay, I do feel my voice starting to give out a little bit, and it is a bit late for me. So I think I'll actually call it a day here. You're supposed to run away. They're meant to act as a deterrent. That's how they're designed, but it doesn't stop people from literally riding them like a cowboy and killing them. Ah, okay. I could picture like the cowboy thing. I didn't know you could actually kill them. I didn't think they had like health. Thanks for the stream. Well, thanks for stopping by. Let's see, who do we raid? Do we know anyone? Hmm. Hmm. I see Katana is live. Let us raid into him. Okay. So, thanks everyone for stopping by. I hope you had fun. I know I did. Productive day. We did some yapping. And yeah. One had like 5,000 health. Wait, sorry. The message cut out. Because when I raid into someone, it kind of like deletes the last few messages for some reason. But yeah. Okay. One had like 5,000 health, and the most damage you can do at once is like 50. Yeah, you can grind. You can grind down that health, especially if you're like 100 people. So yeah. Anyway, how do I end stream? Okay, anyway, thanks for stopping by. This is usually the part where I'm tired, my brain stops working. But yeah, hope to see you guys soon. I have tomorrow off, but day after that I should be back. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on how goes the rising of my evil empire in Minecraft. So, almost time to raid, so see you guys there. Bye bye.